When you look at the Chicago Bears game, Jared Goff, if it wasn't for those last 2 minutes, single-handedly cost that team that game. He threw 3 pick sixes, and if you want to talk about the defense for that game, fine, but the defense only gave up 3 points off of those 3 picks. Did I say 3 pick sixes? My bad, just 3 picks. The defense gave up only 3 points off of those 3 picks, and the running game gave them the support of 20 carries for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns for 5.6 yards per carry. So, like, you see where I'm going with this. And oh, by the way, against the Packers, they lose. He fumbles three times. One of them is returned for a touchdown, and that's all despite the running game giving him 26 carries for 125 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4.8 yards per carry. So here's the reality of the situation. Jared Goff, for the last 5 months as a whole, has stunk. And the offensive line has played great, and the running game has played great. He has Ben Johnson as his play caller. Everything is so insulated with him, and he is still finding a way to fuck things up lately. And that's just reality. So there is no way in hell I am giving this man a long-term extension right now. I'll tell you what. Is there a chance that he turns it around and plays excellent football for the last stretch of the season? Sure. But he's got some stuff to prove, man.
No, really quickly, because I see Booner, and I want to get to this. Allow me to do this, fellas. I'll take the lead on this one. Booner says, waiting for this offensive line and Jonah Jackson to get mentioned in this segment. Say it, Flannel. Allow me to, Booner. I'll bring it up. Because you actually just made my point. Congratulations. If you want to go first to the offensive line for how Jared played, losing 3 fumbles, thank you for making my point. That's the question we're asking about Jared Goff. Is he a franchise quarterback? Let me inform you something, Booner, and this is for all people that just want to absolve Jared from any blame. Not everything's going to be perfect.
Never is.
Never is. Your job as a quarterback is to overcome that. Why is it a thing that C.J. Stroud, as a rookie, overcomes multiple offensive tackles being in and out of the lineup, multiple offensive linemen being in and out of the lineup, and he's just fine? Like, we can't, guys, and this is where the Jared Goff stuff gets a little ridiculous. No one's saying that this guy's a bum, but for you to walk out of yesterday's game, and I was there in person, like, I had to watch it, for you to walk away from that game and say, man, that offensive line was just atrocious, which it was, but to only have that takeaway from the turnovers, guys, you gotta wake up. Jared Goff deserves as much blame as they do. Take care of the football. You saw the play where he scrambled, he ran like 3 or 4 yards and lost the fumble. Was that the offensive line's fault? Like, please, I'll allow you guys to speak on that. That's where I'm lost with this. Guys, if we're going to talk about Jared Goff and talk about extending him, what happens if you play like this against the 49ers? What happens if you play like this against the Eagles? Because I'll tell you one thing, those 2 defensive lines are going to cause problems.
More problems.
More problems. This offensive line, and by the way, there's a lot of pressure that's put on those guys because they are elite, but to assume that they're going to shut everybody out is wrong. That is not the case. That's not how the NFL works. You're going to have Nick Bosa get loose. It is what it is. Like, Taylor Decker is a human being. These guys are not perfect. Penei Sewell is a human being. They can't be elite every single game. But your job as a quarterback is to overcome that. That's why organizations pay their quarterbacks. Like Mahomes, even in a game against Tampa in the Super Bowl, those guys can find a way. Not saying Goff's Mahomes, but to some extent, if you're going to pay him and you think he's that guy, you have to find a way.